You've seen it 1,000 times. A family starts attending your church, and at first, they're all in. You see them just about every week for a while, and then all of a sudden you realize, and you ask yourself, where have the Johnsons been? I haven't seen them in like a month. By then you realize they've slipped through the cracks. But what happened? When did it start? What could we have done to help protect them from getting picked off by the distractions of life? Today, we're going to share with you what we are currently doing at Mountain Movers Church and what you can do as a pastor, church leader, or volunteer to help better retain church families after they join your church tribe. Let's do this. Welcome to the Small Town Big Church Leadership Podcast, a place for pastors, church leaders, and volunteers to grow themselves and the local church. We're pastors Brad and Misty Hilton, church planters in rural America.
So everybody knows that at different times of the year, there are just these supernatural seasons of growth. For us, where we're at, fall is one of those seasons. Everybody gets back in school and it's like, summer vacations are over and we see it really fall and spring, but especially in the fall. People are just ready to get back into the groove.
A new routine.
New
habits.
Right? They're ready for new habits. I even think more than like the new year, fall is church growth time, at least where we're located. And so, it's easy when you get into that season of growth and you've got those new families, which we call VIPs at Mountain Movers.
And why do we call them that?
Very important people.
They are.
Right? They're very important to us.
Treat them like royalty, don't we?
That's right. And so it's easy to get your focus on the VIPs. It's really easy when you've got lots and lots of new families coming through the doors every single weekend, and you want to make sure that you get them connected, that you're loving on them.
Give them the attention that they need.
Give them the attention they need. And at the same time, you're trying to balance the families who do attend your church. You don't want
not making them feel like they've been forgotten.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it is a balancing act, all right? And so today we really want to talk to you about a strategy that we have implemented here for this very reason, because we are seeing, as we've got all of this influx in our growth season, we are also realizing exactly what you said, Brad, in the beginning, and that is, it's like, wait, where's that family? Oh my gosh. Wait a second. I haven't seen him in a while.
And it kills you.
Yes, because it's not that you don't love them. Yeah. It's not that you haven't even thought about them, okay? But oftentimes, we're just assuming we haven't seen them, okay? Especially in a church where you have multiple services and you don't see everyone every single week. And then you go pull attendance and you realize, oh my gosh, they haven't been here in weeks, and you feel this big, okay? And you as leaders go, oh my gosh, is it too late? Yeah. So we realize we have to have a strategy in place to stop those families from slipping through the cracks. And so what we have developed here at Mountain Movers is a strategy we are calling Shut the Back Door, all right?
Love it.
We have, for the longest time, heard pastors talk about how there is a revolving door at your church, right? As new people are coming in the door, other people are going out the door. And I remember an older pastor that was here in our town. He's gone on to heaven now, but you were talking to him in the early years of our church plant, and you were asking him, like, how do you stop the revolving door? Like, how do you shut the back door? And he said, what did he tell you?
He said, son, when you figure that out, please let me know, because it's something that all pastors deal with. And even before we planted Mountain Movers Church, we always, had it in our mind that we were going to be really good about, making sure that no one is left behind. We want to make sure that we had a really strong retention program, because we wanted every person to know that they are valued, but we know that behind every person is a purpose and a God-given destiny and a plan that he has for them. And we wanted, as pastors, we had it in our hearts to do everything we possibly could to spare no expense and exhaust every effort to make sure that we helped as many families as possible to accomplish what God had called them for on this earth. And
Right.
when people slip through the cracks,
That can't happen.
that can't happen.
Right.
When 6 months down the road, you realize they're not even here anymore.
Yeah.
They're not in church, and a lot of times, unfortunately, they've slipped away, from their faith altogether. So we were always really serious about making this a big priority. So there's 3 elements to our retention strategy, and the first one is this: personally invite. And what we mean by that is we encourage all of our volunteers within Mountain Movers, all of our what we call team leaders in the church, even pastoral staff as well, any staff members, to personally invite one person every week who isn't connected either in our midweek experiences. We also have what we call the serve team, which is our volunteer team. So these are the 2 things that we focus on in getting people continually connected to try to minimize people slipping through the cracks. So personal invite.
You got to get them connected.
And relationship.
And you got to get them connected quickly. Statistics say that families will visit your church 3 times. They'll come back 3 times. And if they don't make a friend, the percentage of them that walk away is huge. Okay, so it's like 80%. I'm kind of like, I don't remember exactly, but it is a very
Nonetheless,
large.
the chances of them coming back is very slim.
Yes, and so here's what we've been trying to do, and that is, those VIPs that are walking through the door, we want to make sure we get them invited, that we personally invite them to a life group, which is a midweek experience, but we've got those small group experiences in kids ministry, in our student ministry, Accelerate, and in our adult ministry, which is life groups. So that's going to get them connected in a group of less than 20 people, all right? Because it's overwhelming sometimes on a Sunday when you roll in for a weekend experience and you come through the doors, and yes, you are greeted, and yes, people are loving on you, but you don't personally really get connected with people, we have found, until we get into smaller settings. And you build relationships week over week. You greet one another, you talk to one another, and just naturally you build those relationships and get connected.
Right.
So the first part of this strategy is that we personally invite one person every single week. So element number 2 is know their story. And when we say know their story, here's what we're saying. Get below the surface with those that you lead or those that you serve alongside, okay? Once you get in that smaller setting, you're in a group with them. Now it's time to not just know somebody's name. It's time to know someone's story. And I want you to just think about it. We're not just asking, how are you? Because, Brad, I can say, how are you? And you can say,
I'm great.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Even though you might not be great.
Might not be great. We do it
Right?
all the time. I mean,
We lie
it's a
all the
common
time,
way.
do
It's a common way that
People do it.
We greet people in our culture and our society. We'll say, "Hey, how are you?" And a lot of times,
Most people.
it's common to even if you don't answer, it's okay because it's really just a way of saying hi.
Hi. It really is.
It's real. You might as well just say hi.
Right. So what we're saying in Know Their Story is we're not asking, how are you? We're asking, who are you?
Yeah. And when you do that, you dig down and you build a more meaningful, special relationship. And like I said, when you build bonds like that within the church community, it is so unlikely that people, when they get really connected with
Yes.
others, the chances of them slipping away is just so much more minimal.
Right. Okay, so let's move on. What is element number 3 in our strategy to shut the back door?
Reach out weekly.
So we want to reach out to those that we are serving alongside or that we lead, as Brad said, when they aren't here. So when someone has missed a Sunday or they've missed their small group that week, do you know how it values someone for them to get a text, for someone to say, hey, how you doing? I didn't see your face tonight. I didn't see
noticed.
you today.
Yeah.
It tells them someone missed me. It's kind of like this. If you get together every week for like a Sunday lunch, which our family, believe it or not, does. My parents make lunch every Sunday and everybody in the family is invited. And it's one way that we all stay connected because we're all very busy. So we don't have to get an invite. We know lunch is happening at Mom's house.
Yeah, great tradition.
And the other day, my dad came in and our daughter-in-law was in our office. And Lainey was standing there and my dad said, hey, is the GPS like on your phone not working? I mean, you have that, right? And she said, yeah, it's working. And he goes, Oh, okay, I thought maybe you got lost because I didn't see you Sunday at lunch. And we all start dying laughing because that was,
his sarcastic
way of saying
you were missed.
We missed you.
Yeah.
But the fact is, when you don't show up somewhere and people are expecting you, like in your small group, or if you were, on a team and you're serving, when someone notices you're not there, it shows you they care. It just takes a few minutes out of your life, and it means so much to the people on the other end.
Yeah, something that I say oftentimes when I'm reaching out is, it wasn't the same without you.
Yeah.
That tells them, hey, you're valuable, you're loved.
You make a difference.
You make a difference. Yeah, when you're here, you make a difference, and when you're not here, we notice. And so it's about valuing people, letting them know that they're loved and appreciated.
Okay, so let's just quickly review those 3 strategies, those 3 elements to shut the back door. Number 1, personally invite one person once a week that is not connected to midweek, that's a small group, or to the serve team. Number 2, know their story. Get below the surface, all right? And number 3, reach out weekly to those that you lead or those that you serve alongside. Show people you care. Well, we hope today has been a benefit to you. We hope that your church, as well as ours, can shut the back door. We don't want to let anybody slip through the cracks between now and the time that Jesus comes back. Have a great week. We'll catch you next time.